Although we talk a lot about documenting code with / for single line comments, or / and then * for multi-line comments. There is another way you can comment your code, and you may see it referenced on the AP exam, and that is with the JavaDoc tool. So JavaDoc, as I said, is a tool that comes with most of your compilers, and there's a standard format for comments. When you run, you put the comments in your code in a very specific way, and you run this JavaDoc tool over your code, it generates HTML files with documentation similar to the style of files that you see in the Java API that Oracle provides. So if you follow their format, you can generate this documentation that anyone can look at, and it's a standard format that everyone gets used to. So when you look at code, if you see comments before a class with /**, with that second asterisk there, that flags the JavaDoc multi-line comment. But that's what the compiler is going to pick up on when it's not when it sees / and then a space or some typing. When it sees / on a line like this, and then notice you put the asterisks in front of your various comments and you close with */. When it sees that kind of a format before, around, and at the end of comments, it interprets them as JavaDoc and puts them into this HTML file output. Okay, you can put them before a class, before field and method declarations. Note, it has to begin with a / and 2 stars, okay? And then there are some special tags that you can use, only 2 of which might be referenced on the AP exam, and we'll talk about that in a second. So if you're looking at a file or sample code on the AP exam and it has that format, that's JavaDoc. Notice here, right before the instance variable, here's another JavaDoc comment. Right before a method, same thing, and it's just saying what the method does. In this case, name is both first and last name. That's important because a lot of times you split that out into 2 separate instance variables. So we can use special tags in the JavaDoc to provide even additional documentation when that JavaDoc tool is run over your code. And the 2 common ones, and the 2 that you may see referenced on the AP exam, are @param and @return. Notice one word, no spacing in there, so @param, @return. Those are tags. And obviously, one is going to indicate the return type of a method, and the other indicates the parameters that a method takes. And so here in this example, they're showing you a couple of things. The @return tag is followed by a description of the return value. So here's an example at the beginning of the class, at the beginning of the method, we have our /**. Here we have a little description of the method, gets the first and last name of the student, and then @return space this student's name. So it's telling you it's going to return the student's name when that JavaDoc tool runs over it and it outputs that HTML documentation file. That's all. It's going to basically indicate the return type is the student's name. I mean, that's all going to be nicely laid out for you. But it clues in, this is a special keyword to the JavaDoc tool, and it's going to put that in a specific place or format in that HTML file, followed by your description of the return type. So here's a method. Before it, you put your comment, you put @return, and then you put a description of the return value. Here we're in front of another method. We have our JavaDoc comments here, and then @param space, and then we follow that first by the name of the parameter. So here's the parameter coming in, new name. If it was XYZ and this was name equals XYZ, we'd be putting param XYZ. So it's whatever is here in the parameter list. So at param space the name of the parameter, and then just a little description. This is the student's new name. Should include first and last name. Another one is for the throws exception, but that will not necessarily be on the AP exam. So the two that you're interested in are at return and at param, and just having a general understanding of what JavaDoc does. Now, of course, the example before, the parameter list had only one parameter in it, which is the easiest example. But here's a method that takes two parameters. So how do you handle that in a JavaDoc situation? So you put at param for each parameter. Notice at param URL, at param name, and you do it in the order that they are listed here in the parameter list. And notice this one's very nice because he does the at params, then he actually does the return. So you can see you would do your parameters first and then your return if you're going to do them. So at param space, first parameter name, URL, description of it. At param, second parameter name, which is name, description. Then at return and a description of what is returned. And he just lined that up nicely for visibility. You don't have to put that much spacing there for the return. But I just wanted to show you an example where they had more than one parameter and they were doing the return at the same time.